Hey guys, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. If you were pulled to the description of this reading, the title of this reading, then there may be a message here for you. We are doing a collective reading, and I don't know what this collective reading is going to be about. Okay, so let's see what message Spirit is wanting to communicate. Generally, when I'm called to do a collective, it's generally time sensitive, okay, but it could be really about anything that Spirit's wanting to communicate to you. Okay, now I was getting, and I don't always get impromptu sort of early things before a reading, I was getting something about words, and that was coming through one of my readings earlier today, like symbols through words. Oh, which reminds me, good, thank you, Spirit, words. So, sorry, I was meaning to pull, not these, oh my goodness, I'm really sorry, you guys can skip ahead, words, and I'm really hung up on words, so maybe someone's trying to find the right words, not these, okay, we'll pull some words to see what's coming through with the words. The Spirit seems to start with the words. Okay, sorry, get yourself together, woman. Okay, let's see, words, Spirit, what is this collective messaging? Potty mouth. Oh my goodness. Potty mouth? Yeah, words. Watch your words. Like, I'm using words, which I don't generally channel with, so I thought, okay, use words, but it's something about words being said, and potty mouth is usually when we say something that others might find offensive, right? But maybe not necessarily, but maybe we say something we can't take back, or we go below our level of, I don't know, like, what is this? Like, is this someone being, I don't know, let's see, Spirit, have more words. High school, someone being immature, maybe someone you literally know from high school here. High school, it's like adolescent behaviors, something about learning. Aries coming through. We'll pull 3 more and then we'll pull some social media. Words. Okay, what about the Spirit? What does this collect? A lion? So, and dramatic. Oh my goodness. Well, the lion could be Leo, but it also represents courage, strength, and ego. Leos are definitely dramatic here. The lions definitely put on a show of strength. This is a very fascinating energy that I'm tapping into here. Okay, we won't pull the tarot just yet. I'm going to pull some of these oracles, and then we'll put your story together here, what your messaging is. Spirit's saying, my goodness, I keep grabbing those. Spirit's now saying to clarify what the tarot. Okay, what's with the potty mouth here? Clear and concise message for the collective. Potty mouth. And look at this dirty pig, filthy pig. Throwing pearls to swine. 4 of semantics. This is the 4 of pentacles, and it is in reverse. Something we can't take back. Not holding ourselves back from saying something. Is this something filthy? You know how we say, I don't know, because lion, I'm getting like, this, sometimes the strength can symbolize the eros, which is like our sexual energy, and like, you know, filthy pig here. I don't know, I'm getting some sexual energy now pulling through as well, okay? And Aries, it could definitely symbolize the divine masculine energy. We have a lot of fire here because it's the Emperor energy pulled through the Aries. Let's see. The temperance, flow of temperance. Yeah, to temper ourselves, balance ourselves. Look at the 2 swans. Swans for me can talk about soulmates, love. It's like a 2 cup sort of energy with the 2 swans here. Swans mate for life. And we see all this white, which is purity, which is the opposite of this filth. Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. We got all the fire signs here. Okay, Spirit, what is this? What is this high school about? Oh my goodness, high school. Like, what words are these that we have the Eight of Pentacles. That could be the work card. We have, I'm going to put that over here. We have the Hangman. It's called Suspended Perspective, and he's in reverse. Pisces energy. And we have the Seven of Wands. And the Wheel of Optimism in reverse. It's the Wheel of Fortune. What is high school here? It feels like it's not necessarily an argument, but a standing point or a position that one comes from. Okay, I kind of getting the energy, but I can't put words to it. Hold on one second. Let's see. Spirit, can I just get some tarot here? What is this message for the collective about? Clear and concise message regarding this. What the collective needs to know right here, right now, in this urgent message. Sovereign's nature. This is the Divine Empress. Okay, Empress energy. Here she's pregnant and she has a, is that an orangutan? Or a baboon? I don't know what the difference is. I think it's an orangutan. And she's pregnant. Okay, so Taurus, Libra energy. See some pomegranates there, which always take me back to November. Okay, we have the Starlight of Hope. More major arcana. That's the Star, Aquarius. What is this message, Spirit? We have the Five of Swords. That could definitely be words that are spoken. Or people might feel like they have to defend themselves or win at all costs here. Okay, what is this message for the collective? Five Swords. And we have the Nine of Wands, which is another card of being on the defense. Could be the boundary card. Here we have the introspection of spirit. This is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is more fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Bottom of the deck. Curiosity of feelings. This is the Page of Cups. Could be the apology card. It also feels like immature energy, which we were picking up with high school here. Okay, and then the Magician's manifestation, Virgo, and Gemini. It's the Magician. Okay, let me really sit with this. I can't see very clear. Let me see if I turn this light on. I'll turn the light on so I can see. This might take me a bit because there's lots going on here. Potty mouth. Okay. If you're here, okay, and someone, most likely a divine masculine energy, it doesn't have to be gender so much as it is energy, like I always say. It feels like, because I'm getting the fire, okay, fire is masculine energy. It's coming towards you because I'm feeling two energies here. I'm feeling your beautiful energy as this Empress, full of love, okay? And you might have a boundary up. You might be feeling like you're trying to gain your bearings here. This does feel like it's a relationship reading, okay, which has been my last few collectives. So you could have been healing specifically from this person, okay? There seems to be an understanding that you are gaining. You're trying to heal, you're trying to balance, you're trying to maintain, you're very loving, you're very beautiful, you're very considerate, you're not putting anyone out of your heart, okay? I feel this. This is a beautiful energy. It feels very much like healing all around you. These are two very strong healing cards, okay? And the Empress herself is a very beautiful healing giving energy. And then there's this other energy that's around you. And I do feel like, I don't put people in like categories here, but it feels below your, unless this person's projecting, you know, it feels very below this other energy here. It feels like it's a challenged energy. Feels very immature. Maybe someone who owes you an apology. Someone's wanting to come towards you and feels not at your level. So this could definitely be them sort of projecting. They don't like your boundary, or they feel your boundary energetically, whether you've told them you've blocked them or energetically guarded or protecting yourself from this energy. And I don't know if this person is trying to, well, they're definitely trying to overstep in this boundary of yours, which already within itself isn't very respectful, but it's like this one-track mind of like, it's a one-track mind here, especially with this Hangman in reverse, okay? It's like I'm fixated on my perspective and I'm going to like just move in that direction because they have a narrow focus. And the narrow focus, one, is that you now have a boundary. It's like, it's very, what's the word? There's no foresight other than looking at the situation. If you have a boundary and I want to move beyond your boundary, I'm going to look at whatever I can say or do to move that. Okay. Because this person could feel like your connection or your situation with this person has been stuck or blocked as a result of the past history with this person. It could very well be their fault. It could very well be that this person was blocked. It could very well be that this person had blocked you. I don't know. This person is very much in their own energy of considering themselves. So you might be a relationship of convenience. Okay, I know it sounds really not good here, but it's like a connection of convenience. Now, this doesn't mean, okay, because I want this to be very loud and clear, that this person has bad intentions. Okay, one, there's no such thing as bad. Okay, whatever's here, I do feel there's some sort of faded or universe lesson here that's needing to be played out. That this person might just be on contractual program. Okay, for sure. Like they could be learning their own sort of life lessons here. One that might get them to see a greater perspective of themselves or how they engage or what they understand or what they fight for or what they stand on. You know, oops, Mother Mary falling. So my beautiful friend Carla gave this to me. If you're watching, Carla, hi Carla. So yeah, it's like, you know, oh, now I'm getting this. Oh my gosh. You know, when we do something sort of feels not slimy, but like, yeah, like underhanded in some way, and we like double down or stand on business. It's like, oh, I was standing for the wrong camp, or I was fighting for the wrong thing. So I did something here. It does feel like a regret energy, but they're not at the regret yet, but it's like, it's a buildup of it. You know, it's a buildup of it because they're not at the point yet where they're looking back and like from a higher perspective saying, oh man, like this is what I did. And now I could see it and understand it. And I have no idea what I was doing, you know, like they're not there yet. But I feel like what's coming forward would be like an energy of trying to break the boundary. And so it might sound like an apology, okay? And now I'm not saying that the apology that comes forward isn't an authentic one, but it's not an apology of true understanding of what their energy is like. It's like, I want the manifestation and the control of my right here, right now manifestation, which is only looking at your boundary. And I don't want your boundary here, you know? And you feel like someone here who maybe is really trying to emanate, is that the word? Emanate your true self from a beautiful energy of self-love, self-value, bring towards you what you deserve. Like, I really feel like you're doing a really good job here in self-healing and seeing your own value, seeing your own worth, seeing who should surround you. And I do feel like you are maybe in a hiatus. Why am I having words again? Hiatus from dating? Okay, because normally I would read this as we need to fill our own cup and learn self-love and self-worth. And I feel like you have been on this journey of self-worth and healing. But I feel like you're blocked right now to love. And it's not because you're challenged emotionally so much as a conscious choice of, or an unconscious choice of being blocked. This is a conscious choice of, I have the ability to say no, you know, and not from a place of anger or resentment, but no from a place of knowing my true self-worth here. And now someone here is wanting to do whatever and show you, okay? But I feel like this person feels like they're behind, and they feel like they have like something to prove here with all this fire energy. Like, one, I do feel like they could definitely be driven by sexual energy, okay, because the fire is here, but it doesn't have to be so much as that's symbolizing sex, so much as it is the driving force of taking action to move towards you, to prove themselves. It feels very like peacocking energy, you know, to prove myself. Like, it's almost, yeah, like very high schooly too, because it's like in high school, like we're competing and we're like going about it in some way that we got to learn. Like, there's a learning here of like karma and lessons and like how we are, but we need to be able to see ourselves. And sometimes the only way we're able to see ourselves is in past action, like what I did. What was I saying? Words again. What did I say? What did I do? What was my position? What did I stand on? And look at this elephant, which for me always talks about past experiences. It's like memories, but it's always like sometimes memories that we have a difficult time moving beyond because it could carry a lot of weight. So I'm getting like a 6 cups in reverse energy from this elephant. So again, we don't want to hear from the person of the past sometimes, you know, but this could be an experience with a person of the past or someone who carries a lot of baggage or heaviness about the past, their past. It's like right beside them. The past, like their childhood or their past relationships or their inability to move beyond the past or their ability to be separate from what they've experienced here has challenged this person and has made them see themselves and you and things from a very narrow way, of the only way that they can see it. But now it's sort of like emergency energy because of all this fire. And I'm really literally seeing like arson, you know, how it just goes out of control here, because the urgency here is, like, I don't know if there's like the biggest gap between you and this person now. And there could be, because like I said, there's immature energy, there's page energy, there's this 5 of Swords, which is like creating a lot of conflict and friction and coming from an immature place of selfishness, which is the complete opposite from this Empress and this Queen of Wands. Now, I do feel like the Empress and the Queen of Wands are one and the same. What you do feel is your energy. Of course, you could flip the energy if you're the other side, like feeling a fire to move towards someone who's boundaried or something, or who's healing or balancing. But it could be that you're feeling like the person who couldn't show your value, or who you maybe even removed your offer of love, or can't see yourself opening up to this person because of past hurts or experiences. But it's like this person might have chose, because the Queen of Wands can talk about another woman, but I read the Queen of Wands not always as the other woman. The Queen of Wands is a beautiful energy here, you know, but it's representing to me the third option, or like prioritizing someone or something else here. This person feels like, even here, because this person's in a wheelchair, which is like, you know, sometimes like a disability that like, and I'm not talking about like they could have a physical disability, but I'm more seeing this as like a metaphor of like some form of something that created a disability for this person to engage or move beyond. They're working with some form of a disability. You know, I don't know. Is it a mental disability? Do they not have the ability to show self-restraint and control here? Because kind of, how immature people just sort of do something here. And we see social media. So I don't know if this is someone who has a social media presence or who is reaching out to you on social media or is snooping on you on social media or is commenting something on social media here. I see this rhino, which is giving me this 5 swords in a way, because the rhino has this like tough exterior and it kind of just rams through certain things, and everything in its way is sort of collateral damage, like this 5 swords. And maybe that's the thing. It's like this person in the past was like really tough and rough or like trying to prove something here. Big animal energy with the elephant and the rhino, like big, tough, strong, and unmovable. It seems almost like fixed and heavy, guarded, just unmovable. This person very fixed. Could be an artist too. This person is drawing a beautiful picture here. Okay, but artists come in all sorts of forms and fashion. Let's see, because I still don't know what your message is here at all, except for, I guess, the energy. So, Spirit, for for the collective, what is this collective messaging we're getting? Why does the collective need to know? We have the cat and the goat. And I don't feel like the middle cards are relevant. Okay, so the cat does talk about intuition. This is feminine energy, okay? But the cat could be very much an independent energy that's gets spooked very easily, likes to roam, doesn't like to be sort of coddled here, is like very independent. Okay, then we have the ram. So again, that heavy sort of energy. A ram is very, well, Aries for one coming through, but stubborn, fixed, determined. I do feel there's one more animal here. Okay, so someone's very determined. Maybe they are very independent, or they have some form of intuition in regards to you or how to move towards you. But I do feel this person is quite fixated on you, okay? Maybe it's someone you have to let go of or are working on letting go of or healing from. Maybe someone who's done you dirty here too. I don't know, The horse. So where was I seeing? I thought I saw a horse somewhere. Maybe it was just the white here. So the white is talking about purity, but horses can talk about independence and freedom as well. Okay, and empowerment. So I definitely feel like you're working on a position of self-empowerment for sure. And I think you are there. Okay, but I think you're trying to protect that. And I feel like maybe somebody here who might even have the energy of like stubbornly in it for themselves, feeling like anyone who wants to work with them is getting in the way of their independence or freedom in some capacity or limiting their empowerment. And so they're stubbornly maybe fighting against this, but they're just fighting themselves here, because I feel like your energy here is beautiful. Like you're wanting a beautiful, reciprocal, emotional, peaceful, healing thing. And I think you have a vision here of what that looks like. But this energy is all like, whoa. I don't even know. Okay, let's get some more. Spirit, what is this message for the collective regarding? So yeah, strong Aries for sure. There is some Pisces coming through with the cat for me. Okay. Clear and concise message for the collective. Banshee, 16, the keening woman. You know, the banshee's like the woman who cries and screams and like the nightmares, but there's like, it's like a dark night of the soul of loss. And like the keening woman, I feel there's a history here of some real heavy regrets of sorts. It feels torturous here too with this banshee. But again, watch your words, because the banshee screeches. My parents used to say, "Oyo screech." Okay, and in Portuguese it'd be like, "Watch your screaming." Oyo screech. What does that mean? I mean, I know what it means, but watch your words. Again, watch your words, watch your words. Okay, I don't know if you're being told to watch your words because someone's coming in hot and heavy in some way, you know, and we could go spiraling and undo. We could definitely undo. Okay, now I'm saying undo. You can't undo anything, but you could be really like pacing yourself, healing, balanced, totally in your beautiful energy here. Okay, beautiful. And now all of a sudden, happens, okay? I don't know, stubborn, fixated, heavy, oh my gosh, comes up in your energy field, and you could literally be pulled into like screaming matches, and you know, then it's like a flurry of something, and then it leaves you sort of looking back, and you're the one that's like arguing, like, how did I get to the arguing point? You know, I was doing perfectly fine. Oh my gosh, she's giving me anxiety. Sheila Nagig, fertility and creativity, number 10. So this is divine feminine energy here. 10 is all about endings, completions, and ends of cycles and transformation. I don't know the story of Sheila Nagig, but I'm getting heavy divine feminine from both these energies. And then we have Rhiannon, the story carrier. And look at the white horse again. And she's in a beautiful green dress, all about unconditional love. And she's on this white horse, like it's tamed in some way. There's a message here about watching words. Like there's an ability to tame, okay, like a situation, not necessarily a person who's unruly. You can't do anything about unruly people, but situations in which unruly people show up, even if they're like out of control or a little wild or a little unpredictable. It's like love is the only thing that can manage situations in peaceful ways, you know, and it doesn't mean you having to pour your cup of love out into a non-reciprocal energy, but it does mean your heart and your love guides something in a way that could birth something beautiful here. And look at the star. Okay, she's birthing this star. Aquarius energy now I'm getting. Okay, this is kind of a little bit of a graphic picture. I don't know if I can show it, but it's like she's birthing out the star, birthing the healing. The healing isn't happening to her. You know, it's not something that's coming to her. It's like she has to, yes, and manifest. Now this is very strong. This message is for you if you resonate as this beautiful healing empress, okay, with unruly people. You have the ability, because you are a magician here, to manifest. What does it mean to manifest truly? I'm not just talking words, spiritual words. The manifestation is I'm conscious enough in this moment to choose consciously what comes of this moment. I'm going to birth this. I'm going to manifest this. So she's manifesting what? The star, which is the healing. Okay, I'm not waiting for the healing to come. I'm not waiting for the situation to temper down or calm down or this person to say or do. The power's in my hands right here, right now to respond. Again, watch words. I think this is a big one. Okay, I think also, oh my gosh, I'm getting a lot of downloads now. Okay, when I was channeling earlier today, I was saying words weren't necessarily words so much as it was energy, and like the essence and the symbols meant energy vibration. Okay, not in this reading, but an earlier reading, if you watched it. And so it's like, this is what Spirit is talking about. If you're using literal words, if you're having conversation or just energy exchange, there's a conscious need for you to manifest and birth the healing conversation or the healing that's taking place. So what you say is the thing that's going to manufacture whether something is healed or tamed or out of love and like okay and peaceful, or if something's going to go completely haywire. It's up to you, because I think you want healing and peace, you know, and I think you have a vision of something too, and I don't think you want your vision just to be squandered or someone to come and like make this vision go further away. It's like, no, I still want to keep my eye on the prize, or I don't know, you know, and Spirit's saying you can't, because this can go sideways very quickly with this banshee. And I know my messages are usually like this one of higher love and light, you know, keep the peace. But really, that's what's I'm stirred. It's like, keep the peace if you can keep peace. But how do we keep peace when we're annoyed or irritated or like boundaried or like resentful or have love out of our heart? It's difficult, you know, or if someone's pressing your buttons, or if someone's bringing up the past, or if someone's really fixated, or if someone's really stubborn, if someone's really immature, if someone's not apologizing, if someone's very self-focused, if someone feels very stuck. Like, this is the lessons here, you know, and I feel like something is faded and learned through this exchange. Okay, and maybe it's like, what are we leaving for someone in social media? Or maybe we see someone misbehaving in social media, so it's an energy experience. But however we handle it, it's like, is it going to leave us like this banshee here? Okay, 16 is tower energy, but it's also chariot. And that's the thing. It's like, are we going to have success? Are we going to stay balanced? You know, like the chariot is all about having victories, having balance, integrating shadow. But the tower, it could certainly be a blow up of something, you know, the deconstruction of something. And maybe something does need to tower over. But I feel like you don't want to have a tower, because I feel like you were maintaining or protecting some form of beautiful energy here. And it's like, suddenly this beautiful energy can turn into banshee energy, which is complete opposite. You know, like tears and arguments and dark shadows. Like, I don't know. Or this could be very well be Spirit giving you permission to say, is the shadow integrated? The banshee in you? Because we all have the banshee, no matter how Empress you are or how Queen of Wands. The Empress, I'm going to have some dormant banshee, you know, that needs to be integrated. And this lesson is all about seeing the banshee. I'll read it for you guys, because some of you guys might be saying, what the hell is Linda talking about the banshee? Okay, I'll read it to you guys, because this is like the rooted woman folklore. Okay, but it's like the Empress has this shadowy part. And what is the manifestation is when we're conscious enough to know, is my shadow driving right now? What am I birthing in this moment? Is it coming from healing, light, and love, peace, and heart? Because this is what's going to shape this connection or this experience or this experience. Or am I going to totally let my shadow drive, completely unconscious of it, you know, argue, let someone sort of do this, or like act defensive and like fall into someone's sort of mindset, and then they go just as quickly as they came, because there's 5 swords, nobody won, and here I am now like a banshee. It's like, no, you don't want to. I mean, do you need to experience this? Maybe, but it sounds like to me like it's giving you a heads up. Okay, so the keening woman, the banshee in Irish folklore, is an elder female spirit who heralds the death of members of certain old families she's associated with, usually by screaming, wailing, shrieking, or keening. Her hair is wild and her eyes are red and raw from constant weeping. The banshee is associated with the Banchanoit, the keening woman, who traditionally led the mourning of the dead by performing a kind of funeral lament at wakes. In this way, she acted as a midwife of sorts, but one who facilitated the passage through death rather than birth. Oh my goodness, you guys. It was believed that she functioned as a kind of psychopomp, a soul guide. The act of keening is an act of catharsis. It's also about honoring our grief from our own hurts, the hurts of loved ones and the hurts of the world. Grieving is a normal and necessary response to pain and loss. The Banshee tells us that we must allow ourselves the time and space to grieve for the dead and for the dead parts of us that we need to leave behind in order to make progress along our journey. So, I don't know where you're at. okay? Because we're all sort of in different places, but it's like this message is very much about, are you conscious about what you're manifesting and birthing? Okay? Whatever you're being asked to leave behind, whatever you're asked to see through, not fight it, not try to change. If we have some sort of thing that feels like it needs to be released, then release it. Don't fight it. Don't try to be an empress when we're still bansheeing, There's no need to prove to anyone to be this empress. Yes, the ultimate goal is to encompass beautiful empress energy, but we can't encompass empress unless we've experienced and fleshed out all of the parts that need to go, that are still hurt, that are still hurts. This is how we open the heart space, It's because, okay, now Spirit's coming through with another message. If we're learning about the spiritual journey of opening the heart space, that's what this Page of Cups is all about to me. Okay, curiosity of feelings. It's the early stages of how do we open up our heart space, really, not from a transactional place, but we cannot extend love for another, unconditional love of other or humanity, or even see oneness. We can't unless we connect to it in ourselves. And I feel like by connecting it to ourselves, we can't just adopt an empress energy and say, I'm trying to be healed. I got to maintain the healing. It's like, no, we have to go through a process to get to the empress. Okay. And so I feel like maybe there's a lot of tears. If there's still shadow, it needs to be processed. This says to ourselves, hey, self, I'm allowing you to be all that you are. Banshee, shadow, whatever you need to be or do. Now, this doesn't give free rein to go and just hurt people and 5 swords and be all crazy, but sometimes we must say things in our minds and understand it and play it out in order to meet ourselves where we're at, play it out and say, does that feel right to my heart? Where is this going to lead? Rather than just get caught up in the act here. Because then we're not conscious, we're just sort of reacting to someone, and you don't want to get caught in reacting. You can still process shadow, especially if someone's acting not good. So let's see, Spirit, what does the collective need to know then about this messaging? For the collective here, tapped into this reading, what does the collective need to know about this? Sorry, I got too many here. We have 13 with flexibility. The prehistoric bamboo forest of South Asia. So the tiger is giving me divine feminine, but it's also giving me this dramatic, fiery energy, okay, like animal instinct. Because in the, let's see, I'm being called to read this. In the Animal Spirit Guidebook, this tiger energy. Oh, I just hurt my arm digging for this thing. Tiger. Where's the tiger? Why am I looking on Earth? Oh my goodness, this fire. Fire, 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 fire. Tiger. Lunar force, ease and darkness, feminine energy. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence. Okay, so she's banshee, she's screaming, but it's also darkness and death. One with the silence, fearing nothing. This card reminds us to take the wild darkness to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirit. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour. And the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. When in balance, passionate, strong, and sensual. When out of balance, overstimulated. I think there's an opportunity for you to get overstimulated here by an experience. Someone else, but is someone else driving your energy? That's how we know we've practiced, mastered self-mastery here over ourselves and our emotions. How much have we healed? How much of ourselves are we conscious of? If someone else can drive our ups and downs, whether we go from Empress to Banshee in one sort of act. This is a good mirror because I feel there's something being mirrored to you as a lesson here. This was this high school about how do I master my own emotions here? How can I move through something like this, Not for this person's sake so much as it is for your own observation of healing, because self-mastery does require doing, like birthing that energy. It doesn't come to you. You have to generate that energy. You have to stop and say, what I'm about to say or do is what I'm manifesting here. Okay? Light. 24, the angelic realm. So, like I said, shadow, we have the light. That's the chariot energy I was feeling. Now, are we more in the light or are we more in the shadow? When we're in the shadow, we're very much in the subconscious, acting from fear, acting from pains of the past, not aware. And I think you're being guided. Look at this beautiful angel, guided, okay, to act in the light. So this will clear up confusions, because I feel like it could be very confusing for us to deal with situations where in the moment, when people are 5 swords, we can't see beyond the clouds. But after the fact, it's like, oh, now I can see what I couldn't see before, and I maybe wish I didn't say or wish I didn't do, because you could see it now. Maybe you see beyond someone's shenanigans, or you see the truth behind why someone was doing or saying what they were saying. And it means maybe less than it did at that point. Is like, now I can encompass my higher vibration, but it's like, don't let it rock your world. Activation too. Humans discovering fire, Africa. So this fire energy again, it's like 2 of activation. I'm seeing 2 wands. The choice is yours, always, of course, but when we're conscious, we don't know we have a choice and we're sort of swept up. So same message, you're going to be put in front of you a choice. Okay, but because it's fire, it's fast. And so we might not know how to act in that moment because it's like bringing out the fiery side. And so it could even be like our anger or our like animal instinct all of a sudden, and it's like 2 wands in front of me. Am I just going to react to the one that I'm used to reacting to? And is that in my highest good? Is that coming from light? You have to sort of know which it is, for your own good. So let's see. We have a few more here that I do want to pull just to make sure that we have everything we need. Spirit, am I missing anything here for this collective message? What does the collective need to know about this reading? We have benefactor, grace, and generosity. Beautiful. Look at this Ace of Cups and the 2 little bunnies in the mushroom cup. 3 is this Empress energy. Okay, but grace and generosity. What is that? That's encompassing from the heart space. Compassion, kindness. Okay, grace, being giving rather than taking and keeping, or in an energy that we're defensive or guarded in some way. What does the collective need to know about this? And look at this mushroom. It's giving me that, I don't know if it is, but the poisonous kind that you can't eat. And it's like, even though the poison could be around, or the toxic circumstance, 5 swords could definitely be something that could take us down. Poisonous. Or do we make do with it because we're conscious enough maybe to make friends in a situation, or find peace, or just find the peace here? You're being asked to find the peace. Okay, empty well, time to replenish. So this is this Ace of Cups in reverse. If we cannot have a full cup, then we're sort of no good to ourselves or anything or anyone. This empty well and this time to replenish. I think your main goal, your main star here, is to be with a full cup of healing. I think that is your goal. And Spirit is saying, if that's your goal, then you must protect it at all costs. Even when situations seem like it's threatening here, do not let yourself get depleted to the empty well situation, more tower energy. You don't need to experience the tower, okay? Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. So opposite, empty well and overflow. Again, the choice is yours. Do we want to engage with an overflowing cup, an overabundant heart from a place of love? Okay, without overextending, because we're not being asked to overextend. It's just being asked not to put someone out of our heart, not to go into shadow, not to go into, the shadowy energy, the unconscious energy. But we might feel this overwhelm because, it's fire. It's coming at you. And this is why this reading came. Yeah, look at this tiger too. It's a tiger energy. 43 or the number 7, which is that chariot energy. Like I said, it's like the integration of shadow, having success in that moment, moving beyond challenge. Because if we're not in temperance energy, it's like we can't maintain a chariot when the universe is trying to move us through something forward, because chariot is definitely the universe pulling us through challenge. And we overcome and we can have success. But if we don't know how to balance ourselves, then we could tumble the chariot in one way, in the shadow, in the depletion, in the banshee world. Or we can allow the chariot to move us and go towards light, overflow. Okay, but we need to be tempered here, because I do feel like there's some form of fated lesson. Spirit, what does the collective need to know about this message? It seems to just sort of be repeating, but I'll have to use different decks here. We have, I don't know how to say that, Cathonia of the Earth, number 9, stability. So stability is good. You don't want anything to rock your stability. I'm getting that 4 Pentacles. 4 Pentacles in the light is about stability. And I feel like anything can sort of rock your stability here if it is beneath you, like this filthy pig, or someone's words. Don't let someone's words sort of rock your stability. But you could put a lot of weight, especially if this person, I don't know, has a heavy cane that they swing, it's like their words. Maybe they see something on social media, or you see something or read something. Social media could just be, like digital. I don't know. They send you a text, you read something, they send you an email. 13. I don't know how to say these words, okay? This is the Hecate deck. Hecate deck. It says I don't know how to say it. Avatar of evil. Deflection. It's like water off a duck's back. Deflection. Okay? I don't feel this is like, if someone else has issues, that's not your issue. Someone else wants to create 5 swords. Someone else wants to be immature. Someone else. And the only way through this in the light is to deflect any sort of thing that they're trying to throw at you. Because if it's their own pain and suffering, they need to spread that, they don't want to carry it or see it as their own. And so if you give any engagement, then it becomes your problem, my problem, and I don't have to carry it alone. But if you just deflect that it is even your problem, they have nowhere to put it except for themselves. And this is allowing and this is what we mean by mirroring to others. When we're conscious, when we are conscious, we provide a mirror to others, because how we engage in that moment is always up to us. And when we deflect it, it then falls. It has to fall back on the source. Now, of course, if it landed within us, we transmute energy and shadow, like I said, with that chariot. But when someone comes riding in hot and heavy or like challenged, then there's something about it being deflected off of you back to that person, because this person is needing to see something. And so the best gift you could give to someone is let them see their own immaturity or their own shadow or their own inability to move beyond maybe past ways or fixations or heavy-handed ways of being. Because I do feel this person might be like out to do or say something with you that might create you pain, but it's not because they want to hurt you. Okay? And we might take it personal if we're not healed. They're out to get me. I'm going to take it personal. I'm going to get into battle. So I feel a lot of Scorpio energy here. Again, with that death, the Banshee, the Scorpio death card here. We have some Virgo and some Cancer energy. Okay, Cancer with the Chariot for sure. Whew, all right. And then what do we have? We have 16. I'm not even going to read the Torchbearer with guidance. Yeah, you're being guided. Okay, you're the light barrier. Light. Okay, and I'm also getting the Statue of Liberty. So some of you guys could be from New York, but the Statue of Liberty is giving me justice. There's karmic balance lesson that is happening, an unfoldment of learnings here. That's why you got high school. Have you graduated? Spirit wants to know. You're learning. Okay, there's cycles that might happen with you and this person, or just you in general learning from the school of life. And the school of life now is giving you an opportunity to integrate shadow and say, are you the light bearer? Can you stand in light and truth? Can you do the just thing, even when you're being pulled into the darkness or people are throwing crap at you, you know? How do you manage it? Now, this doesn't mean don't stand up for yourself ever. This means in this lesson, you are being called to bear the light. This isn't saying everyone has to always, you know, do, I don't know, whatever it is that they feel like they need to stand up for themselves or say something, then do that, you know. This is specifically for when you know you're in a situation here, you're being called to hold a mirror, to deflect some sort of energy back at source or whoever it was that generated it so that they can, okay? But we're going to see about them because I want to see a little bit more. Like you're being called to hold the higher light because there's more. It's like a domino effect here. But let's see, what is it about this collective reading that the collective needs to know, spirits? And then I'll pull one more tarot deck just to close out this reading. What is it that the collective needs to know about this reading? Shock of the new, and then 6. 6 is devil, lovers. Again, the 2. Do we choose fear? Do we get pulled by the devil, the shadow, or do we choose love in that moment? You know, and shock of the new, it's like the new version of you has to be born, but you have to do it. You manifest. The spirit doesn't all of a sudden say, well, you've taken all this time and now you're a new version, you're healed. It's like, no, through action, you're healed. Through action, you're new. You have to consciously be new. You be new by the decisions you make. You have 2 choices in front of you always, devil or lovers. It's up to you. And what are you going to choose? You know, choose when no one's watching. It's in real time when these challenging situations present themselves. That's when we know how healed we are. But it's not to prove to anyone, but to your own self, because you don't want to be pulled and swayed by anyone sort of rocking your peace. Okay, because again, like I said, your priority seems to be healing, peace, balance. You have a vision of what you want, and Spirit's saying you will get what you're wanting here. Something's faded, but you're learning this. Okay, so this is why it's sort of difficult here. 22, she feels, she knows. Peacock feather does talk about protection. Okay, the eye of the peacock here. What you know is protected, but also peacocks could talk about ego. You know, like expression. Again, watch your words. It's like, you know what you should be saying, but when we're in the subconscious reacting, we might not be connected to the knowing, the better truth or the higher truth, I guess. Okay, 22 is a master number. Peacemaker, diplomacy, healthy, energetic boundaries, which we were sensing. Okay, the 9 of Wands is a boundary card. The 7 of Wands is a boundary card. Okay, but 22 is about divinely guided relationships. And I feel, again, this divine guidance, this relationship, whatever this person is. I'm going to pull one more of these cards, and then we're going to do the tarot just to see why are you being called to sort of hold this light. We see a bum here, against the grain, 4. So 4 is all about stability. And that's, don't let anything rock your stability. Remember, okay, I feel like you're trying to be stable, and you could still be stable here regardless of what's going on. Okay, against the grain means what? We're resisting, we're sort of challenging something. It's not easy and it's not smooth when we go against the grain. Sometimes we are called to challenge, okay, and go against. But here I feel you're being called to just like deflect, not sort of, not like have to push back against something, but at the same time, it's like whatever it is that you don't get sucked into. Don't get sucked into someone else's drama. Maintain your position. Maintain your balance and your stability. Yeah, and look, she's completely naked. So nakedness could be about vulnerability. So we could be completely open, vulnerable, truthful, honest, but still be boundaried in a way here that honors us and protects us because we know a greater truth. So I'm going to pull the tarot in just to see, because there's something here that we're not touching on, and I don't know what deck to use. What deck do I use here? Sorry, let's use this one. So, Spirit, to close up this reading regarding the collective and this experience with this person, can we get more information about this person and why is it that this message is coming out for the collective in order to maintain the light here? I mean, yes, we want to be healed. It's all about our own inner peace. It's not necessarily about this person, right? But there's a dance of two. Energy is always interconnected. Like, why? What is this spiritual lessons of sorts, or this cyclical, lesson here that you're learning or experience or cycle when it pertains to this person or this connection? Spirit, for the collective, what is this about? Yeah, Six of Cups, you guys. The Six of Cups is a person, place, thing of the past, okay? It's a soul contract as well. Remembering someone from a past life. Could be childhood wounds. Remember I said this elephant was giving me Six Cups energy. Okay, Six of Wands. This is the card of victory, but it's also the ego, the peacock. Someone wanting to be seen. 6-6, master number, serves as a source of joy in which one pours from an overflowing cup, not martyrdom. So are we going to overflow our cup and be depleted in an empty well and crying like a banshee or overgiving? Are we very balanced here? Up to us. Definitely up to us, okay? 3 of Swords, pain. So are we going to have success, or are we going to deal with a situation where we feel suffering? 3 Swords. This is where someone's words, actions, intentions created suffering. So again, watch your words. But it could easily become a victorious sort of experience, or at least you be seen. I think you're being seen, especially also social media could be a metaphor for, like, in social media, it's all public and seen. So it doesn't have to be for the world, but you're seen, like exposure here to this person. Again, the mirror you're holding up, it's like, how do they experience you or see you? And if you're balanced, grounded, stable, and integrated with your light energy and your patience and your love, again, green, beautiful green. Okay, that's the heart chakra. Again, that I was really getting from you here as well. Okay, so it's like, choose love, choose the peace, and this is how you'll be seen, and this is what will deflect back to. When we put out love from an innocent place into the universe, we cannot receive, okay, like negative energy. That's the laws of the universe. You put out love, you get love, okay? Tenfold. And so if you put out negativity, then you experience negativity or even bad karma here. So again, is this going to be a 3-sword situation, or is this going to be an experience of victory? And are we watching our ego? And how does the past come into play here? Because the past could have a big driver here, especially when we have experiences of the past that we're not understanding, and then we just sort of react from past experience. This disappointed me. This is my understanding of something here, and then we sort of run with that. Spirit, what do we need to know about this person, though? The person who is coming to the collective, or who they're engaged with here, or the situation. The Page of Wands. Okay, so Page of Wands, again, is that sort of more immature energy, but again, hot and heavy, maybe full of fire. But also, it's like, a Page of Wands is non-threatening. But again, watch your words. Pages are all about communication. Is someone coming to apologize? Maybe they're coming sort of unbeknownst here, like an immature energy, like, oh, I want to explore in some way. And it's like, I don't know, like dumbfounded. Like, are you serious? Like, a Page of Wands. They want to talk to you about something. And it maybe spirals here. Let's see. What's with this person? It's Page of Wands energy. Full of fire for sure. Okay, we have Justice. That's what I was feeling from the Statue of Liberty. Like I said, Justice card. Karma. Balance. someone wants something fair. Maybe they're peacocking in front of you, or they want you to see them in a certain way, and this is why they're doing it. And maybe, like if you think they're hurting me or they're doing something, and it's like it's not even about you. It's them sort of thinking like the just thing would be for me to be seen, or you to approve of me, or find me successful in some way. And this is the only vision I have or understanding I have. And then I say whatever I say, and I'm not even conscious of what I'm saying here. It could create something here that maybe tips the scales, But I do feel there's karmic lessons here for sure with the justice. Okay, Libra energy. And then finally we have, look at this. Oh my goodness, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, justice, karma. And now look, this Wheel of Fortune's in the upright. The wheel's spinning again. The universe is saying, okay, we could spin again. We're not stuck. So what I'm really getting for a lot of you guys, we're on a journey. We all are, okay? Sometimes we repeat cyclical things for a reason, and it's not to hold us hostage. Cyclical things always show us something more, reveal something more, something more, something more. And ascension is like a spiral, okay? And we're constantly sort of going back and forward, but we're always moving to a different position, even though it feels like we're going backwards. And when we have fallouts, it feels like backwards, Why am I in the shadow again? Why am I experiencing this energy? Do not beat yourself up. Spirit is saying any cycle that happens is to reveal something to you so things can flow again. Things are about to open up and flow again. If you've been in a period of no contact, someone's coming towards you with an apology of sorts. Are they still mature? Sure. Is there still lessons to learn? Sure. Is this person still an ego? Sure. Could this person still create pain and suffering? And we might say, well, I don't want to experience any suffering ever again, so I'm just not going to deal with this person. And it's like, well, there's a karmic understanding that we must understand, and we can't just avoid it, because this isn't healing. When we have inner child stuff that's deep within us, it is only exposed through other. It is only exposed through a mirror. It is only exposed when 5 swords happen, not when we're meditating in our bed, Like, sure, you can meditate and heal so much, but that's not the true indicator of self-mastery. Here is talking about the heart space being open, and the heart space can only be truly seen as open when we're in the field, embodied in love. Not just saying, I'm loving, I'm kind, I'm giving, and then suddenly somebody here who might be unruly steps forward, who is unassuming potentially here, or an ego, and it's like, wow, 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 wow. Okay, well, is that heart space? Is that loving? We could be tooting the horn of spirituality all day long and then totally fall sideways. Okay, but if you do fall sideways, the messaging here is that's a lesson learned, and you're integrating shadow, and that's fine. Okay, but be conscious. What are you manifesting? What are you birthing? What sort of conversations are you having? Is it in light? Is it in shadow? Watch your words, and you don't have to throw pearls at swine here, and you don't have to deplete your well. So it's the fine lines, the balance, you can just be conscious which way you're swaying and leaning, and you don't got to go all in, balls to the wall, and you don't have to be all defensive and guarded because you don't learn anything and say, oh, until we come correctly. Meanwhile, we're all full of wounds and shadows, because then we haven't healed anything. We're just sort of blocking out others, but we're wounded ourselves. All right, so collective, this is your reading. I love you guys very much. I hope this helped you. Merry Christmas for those of you guys who celebrate Christmas, and Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys soon. All right, bye-bye.